Welcome to Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. We interview amazing guests who provide powerful insights that inspire you to get your story told. Be sure to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com, and while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. Now sit back, get ready to take some notes, and let's get started. This episode of Leap Into Your Story podcast is brought to you by Leap Into Your Story course. Visit leapintoyourstory.com, where you have a guide to get your story told.
One of the things that one of the questions you asked is what did I learn, and are there cathartic
Yes.
moments? Definitely there are, because depending on what period you're writing as a memoir writer and your own personal story, to really get to the truth, one does need to dig deep, which means going very much within and pulling up those memories so that you're really remembering the detail of it, and you have to almost put yourself into a meditative state in the to feel and to be able to express the feeling and the shocks or the trauma or whatever it is. And of course, that is going to bring up the tears, but the lovely thing of that is that once you've done that section, that cathartic section, which may have been, then it's gone. So once it's on paper, it's kind of done. One of the most important things that she gave me, and I've always kept that with me, was that when you're writing about your out there spiritual experiences, when you come back, you have to anchor it in the reality. So it's like you've just had this, amazing, blissful feeling, and you're in the fifth dimension, or you're talking to the council. That when you come back, I'm just sitting here and I'm watching. Now I feel myself, and as I come back, the cat next door is perched on top of the fence, just ready to jump at it, birds. Or else I've just been up on the 10th floor, starting to channel in the Cosmic Dancer piece in Florida, and I go downstairs into the elevator, walk out onto the ground, onto the sand, onto a sandy beach immediately, and take myself into the water and feel, express and describe the feeling of so that you're really always bringing that back into a grounding, into an anchoring place, so the reader can find you. They can feel where you are. They can feel your experience of having been out there, but also you're a human constantly. You're still a human telling a human story. Yeah. I thought that where I started was quite powerful, etc. But in the writing from the heart, she guided us to delve deeper and deeper and deeper into one of the most periods of the most traumatic time. And so out of that, in fact, came the very beginning of my book, the first chapter. So it was quite interesting. And this chapter is written in present tense, and I'll just read a few moments.
Okay.
And I called it Dark Night of the Soul. So January 1993, tight neck, stomach flutters, nerves strung taut. I was agitated, unsettled. The moon-faced therapist with round, steely blue eyes looked straight through me. I shared my problems with her, and she walked to another room, and on her return, placed a tiny brown bottle onto her table. Light from the window illuminated the bottle and threw a shadow upon a shiny brown wood. Take this vibrational essence, she said, 6 drops under the tongue. It will help you to meditate. My tension and anxiety still great. I desperately wanted to believe it was possible to find clarity from this one tiny bottle. So that's the only chapter that I've written in present, and it needed to have that immediacy. and then all the rest of it is in past. That your story is absolutely going to attract the people who need it for you, for them to read for their own development. And you're not just writing the story for you, even though you are in one respect. You can write the story just for you and then not show it to anybody else if you're really wanting to have that cathartic experience and let go of stuff that you no longer really need to hold on to. But, you know, dig deep and have the courage to speak your truth.
And of course, I didn't know how to set it up like Feng Shui, you set it up in a certain direction, but I did know that to make it more peaceful and to put things that were harmonizing and uplifting. So I didn't put very much in that bedroom, actually. And I had my office in a different place instead of all together. So because of that, within, I would say, a couple of weeks, and I did a few other Feng Shui things, moving things around in my house. And it was already pretty decluttered. There wasn't a whole lot in the house because I'd been out of the country. But I set things up a little bit according to the little bit that I understood from that interview, that life transforming interview. But within 2 weeks, I decided it was time to retire. I found a way to retire. Before, I thought there was no way I can retire. How am I going to make a living? So I decided to retire. I decided to move to Albuquerque and build a business from my home. In Albuquerque is a place where there's lots of healers. So that was part of the reason. It was kind of an intuitive hit as well as consulting with an intuitive. I came to the decision that Albuquerque was my place, and she consulted her guides, and she said, "Yes, the guides my guides are telling me, just go." And so I drove 4 hours to Albuquerque, throwing in my car what I needed, and that was another miracle because I had to overcome a huge fear. When I came back from Central America, I was living in Honduras for a few years, and I was so afraid to drive on the freeway. I was so afraid, and my hands would sweat, and I would grab the I would even, going to work, I could not get myself to stay very long on the freeway because I was so scared. But in this moment, in this inspiration, I allowed my dreams to become bigger than my fears. And I wasn't going to let anything, not my fears, nothing, to get in my way.
Certainly a story from the heart. So tell us a little bit what inspired you, because I mean, there's one thing about starting a journey, but you've written a book about that journey. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I decided to write a book about it because reflecting back, it didn't come right, in that moment. I just had to go through, some things first and start expanding. And at first I was working on my health coaching business and trying different things to network and find clients and stuff. That I felt like had lost its magic, I guess. I don't know what the word is. It wasn't inspiring to me anymore. Even though I'm passionate about health, it wasn't the way I wanted to go in with my life. And then I decided in 2017, I think it was, I want to do this as a business. I want to do this as a business. I want to help women transform their lives and create the life that they truly love, so that they can attract abundance, so they can just align their environment with their their goals and dreams, and just show them the magic that can, the flow that can happen by arranging your environment in better ways and more harmonious ways that support you.
Thank you for tuning into the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. Remember to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're there, subscribe and like to us via your favorite social media network. We're looking forward to seeing you next time on the Leap Into Your Story podcast.